China's economy feeling the sting of the trade war with the United States. This latest evidence is their official manufacturing purchasing managers index, a very important gauge of its economy, declining for the second straight month, reporting the weakest manufacturing growth in over 2 years. Joining me now to react, Senior Fellow and Director of the Center for Chinese Strategy at the Hudson Institute and author of, quote, The 100-Year Marathon, Michael Pillsbury. You know, Michael, it's interesting because the title of your book is why a lot of people say we can't beat China because, you know what, they've got at least a century. They're looking at a century, and yes. She is a de facto dictator. They don't have to worry about the press criticizing him. The people will fall in line. So this is really a battle we cannot win.
No, I think we can win it, Charles. It's just going to take President Trump's continuing determination to increase the pressure on China. I think you would agree with me that that's been happening so far. The key issue now, as President Reagan used to say, is stay the course. The pressure is going to work. I think the Chinese delegations here in Washington unofficially have been sniffing around for what is a low-level, kind of a low-ball offer they could make to make this all go away. And it's not what they're looking for is it's not enough. The president's focused on more jobs, our own economy growing faster, better treatment of our companies, and frankly, he's got a lot of bipartisan support. You remember when the tariffs were first announced, Senator Chuck Schumer was on board within hours. Nancy Pelosi has a history of backing the AFL-CIO for both tariffs against China. So he's got a winning hand, but the question is, can he get through the midterm elections with some success?
Right.
Because that's what the Chinese have been counting on, that he would have a setback in the midterm elections and ease off the pressure. I think that's not going to happen.
I think also, Michael, what the Chinese may be counting on is a hostile press. There's a financial network out there that every single guest, the first question they ask them about is tariffs. Even if the company says, hey, we missed revenues because of currency, which, by the way, is overwhelmingly the #1 issue with most companies reporting, not tariffs. I've listened to plenty of conference calls. Then we have people out there when companies don't even say it was tariffs, say the company's lying. It was tariffs. So, I mean, the Chinese know that they have the press that are going to press this. And anytime we have a hiccup in our economy or in the stock market, they'll say, see, we're losing.
I agree with you in general, but there's a growing skepticism on the part of some in the press. You yourself are in the lead here, Charles. The Chinese are getting more and more sensitized to bad press. They used to enjoy a lot of goodwill. People thought about the panda and it's what a nice country they are. I think all that's gone now. There's been so much discussion of technology theft, military secrets being stolen, the things they're doing with the Belt and Road Initiative to entrap poor countries into having to give up their ports. China's got to rethink. Do they want to continue to have this global goodwill?
Yeah.
I can teach you some Chinese, Charles, that I've heard them say. What they're not willing to say is this one sentence: 我们承认，我们已经违反了 WTO 的规定. We acknowledge we have broken WTO rules. Right now they're in denial. All the allegations President Trump and the European Union have made against them, they're still denying. Right. That's got to change. I think it might happen in the coming month or so.
You know, Michael, Stuart Varney had a mentalist on earlier. He did some great tricks, but I like what you just did right there. I'm more impressed with that. Before I let you go, when President Trump was interviewed by Laura
Ingraham,
Ingraham,
got to learn some Chinese, Charles. That's
hey,
my
listen,
point.
Unfortunately, yeah, because, well, anyway, it's Mandarin, I think, is what I'm going to have my grandkids learn. But when President Trump was interviewed by Laura Ingraham, he said that he wants to get a deal done quickly. It's the first time I heard him say that. Is there some truth to that? Do you think that the administration would like to get this resolved sooner rather than later, and they're not taking it personal? This is not about breaking China's economy?
I think the president means what he says. His intention is not to harm the Chinese people or the Chinese economy. He does want a deal, but he's been very clear that the Chinese have not made their first offer. That's the problem we face. They got the pressure coming on them. The economy's going down, but they're still very stubborn. They won't make that first generous offer.
All right. Michael Pillsbury, thank you very much. Appreciate it.